There's no better feeling than a personal win. And the State Farm Personal Price Plan can help you do just that. Talk to a State Farm agent today to learn how you can bundle and save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up during inflation, we thought we'd bring our prices down. So to help us, we brought in a reverse auctioneer, which is apparently a thing.
Mint Mobile Unlimited Premium Wireless. How to get 30, 30, bit to get 30, bit to get 20, 20, 20, bit to get 20, 20, bit to get 15, 15, 15, 15, just $15 a month? Sold!
Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See detail.
When it comes to towing, seeing is believing. That's why Chevy Truck's advanced camera technology offers up to 8 available cameras for 14 unique views, so you can focus on the view that really matters. Chevrolet, together let's drive. Learn more about Chevy Trucks at Chevy.com. Safety or driver assistance features are no substitute for the driver's responsibility to operate the vehicle in a safe manner. Read the vehicle owner's manual for important feature limitations and information.
Right, welcome everybody to our latest episode of the Premier League Cricket Show. And once again, as we are covering the European Cricket League, we're joined by a couple of the guys from Hornchurch Cricket Club. So with me today, as always, got Hugh. He's sat there listening intently, learning about European cricket and going, what the bloody hell's going on here, lads?
I am learning, yeah. I am definitely learning because about 2 weeks ago I hadn't got a bloody clue. So I'm 2-3 weeks up on it and I still haven't got much of a clue, but it's been good. It's been excellent. It's been a lot of fun. And
fingers crossed the lads who are on the other end of the line do know a little bit more about it now, although we don't get to play it apart from when we go into Europe. So with us from Hornchurch, we've got the Hankins boys. We've got George Hankins. How you doing, mate?
All good. How are you?
Yeah, good to see you, mate. Good to get you on here at last and get you off your own podcast, eh?
I know, yeah. It's good to be on
Be
here.
about right. And he's got the brother. Harry, how you doing, mate?
All good, thank you. How are you guys?
Wonderful, thank you. Wonderful. Great to get you guys together. When I reached out to Whitlock and said to him, right, yeah, we'll get someone on to do a preview, it was pretty obvious get you two both on together. You had a great week out there for various reasons, in different ways. And it was we got through, is the best way to put it. You know, putting my Hornchurch hat on, we got through. I had to back Wimbledon and Hornchurch all the way through that first week, and you guys made it a really interesting week all the way. But it was, let's start at the very beginning. It wasn't the most auspicious start for the both of you, was it?
No. I didn't have the best group stage, to be honest.
Do you want to build that up a bit more, George?
In the field. I just couldn't hit the ball. I think it's just one of those in T10, you come off or you don't. And we've got a good batting lineup. So luckily the boys got a few runs for myself. And
you took 3 wickets in the first game of the group, Harry, but then struggled for the rest of the group's games.
Yeah, I actually took a hat-trick in that first game, which I didn't know about at the time.
Didn't you?
I had no idea.
Wasn't the third one caught by your brother?
He was celebrating.
Yeah.
It was his
I should have dropped it.
But yeah, it was different, I suppose. We played the other way around this last time. So both times we were playing towards the commentators. This time we're playing the other way. There was a little bit more extra bounce in the wicket, I felt, which probably cost the batsmen a few early wickets early on. But I think once we kind of got to gist of how it played and looked like adjusted a little bit, like George got some runs finally on finals day, and we strung some performances together, thankfully.
Something I picked up was the bounce. I mean, you know, it was like the whacker out there. They were doing side-on replays and you couldn't see the ball. It was that far above people's heads. You know, that's going to be really handy early season in England, isn't it?
It was different. I was surprised how it could be so different from one end to the other, considering it's literally the same pitch. But yeah, it was different. For me personally, it took a few games to get used to. But I think the bowlers used that wicket better from that end than we did previous year or last year.
And it's been interesting watching the group since you guys that they've been swapping it from end to end, and it is clearly without a shadow bouncing at one end and the other. The group that started today with Pacaca Badalona, they're back at your end again. So you're hitting into the crowd, obviously, and they're saying straight away that this is a different game automatically.
Yeah, it was definitely as well for us last time, a couple of weeks ago. The wind we were bowling with the wind behind us. So like the top edges last year, which were going over mid-on for 6, were actually holding up and catches. So yeah, it was quite nice as a bowler to bowl from that end.
You had quite a windy week, actually, didn't you?
Yeah, no, it was.
It was very windy. It was warm though. It was warm.
Yeah, I think we had one game where the wind died down a bit, didn't we? But
yeah, it was quite windy, wasn't it?
So the group stages, Mechelen, Prague, Hudinge, and our friends at Wimbledon. I'm not going to say you breezed through the first 3, but it was very comfortable. I think is the best way to put it. Going into that, Friday night on the lights against Wimbledon, what was the thought process there? Because I mean, that was a big hitting game for both clubs, wasn't it?
I mean, you're gonna get 2 different opinions from me and Harry about that game. But
Go on then. Let's have the batter's opinion, George.
My opinion is that we shouldn't have bowled. We should have bowled our normal attack, but instead, I thought we were giving them 3 runs and getting their batters in some nick ahead of finals day. At the time, I was very angry. I don't know if you've seen me on the pitch. I was very angry that we did that. So you thought
giving 183 up was a bit too many?
Yeah. So, yeah, obviously it worked out in the end for the next day because they didn't see any of our bowlers. But at that time, I was... you should have seen me in the changing room after I got out. I wasn't happy.
Okay. And now turning to the bowler, Harry.
Yeah, I think for us in that game, obviously we had Bill, who had a bit of a hamstring injury, I suppose, a bit of a niggle, so he didn't play. And we didn't want them to have a look at us for the next day. We had a crunch game the next day where it was 1 versus 2, winner goes straight to the final, obviously second extra chance. So we thought, why give them the head start, and let's have a look at our bowlers and how we go about our business.
It's fair to say when you did go into finals day and played them, the 2 games were literally black and white, weren't they?
Exactly.
Yeah, they were. Exactly. So I did apologise the next day.
Well, how to apologise? Score 57.
Yeah, exactly. No, it definitely worked out for us. They had no idea what to do when Harry started bowling and Gav started bowling and Billy. So yeah, it worked in our favour, but the next time it might not.
Well, Wimbledon are out, so there won't be a next time. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, well, maybe. Well, I'm talking about next week. If it comes to that again, then I'll be telling them to stop worrying about a hamstring injury and getting out there and bowling, doing their job.
And going into that final stage, George, we joke about it a little bit, but you had a shocker in the group stage, hadn't you? But by your standards, I know you were disappointed. Going into that finals day, was it, look, I've got to be a big game player here, mate?
To be honest, I wasn't really thinking about it too much. I knew from last year that I can score runs there, and I know that I'm good enough to score runs there. It was just a matter of just clicking. It was almost like one shot gets you into form in that. So yeah, so I was going to the final. I was just looking to bat the innings really, because I knew if I batted the innings that we'd win the game, which was the case. So yeah, that.
And clearly, listening to Gavin Griffiths a few months ago when we spoke to him and did a review of last year, you clearly play better when you don't think about it.
Yeah, no, I definitely do. Harry would say the same about me. Yeah, so hopefully next week I do exactly the same thing, because I don't want to do what I did last week in the group stage.
Definitely. And yourself, Harry, that finals day, 4 for 11 against Wimbledon the next day. I mean, that was outstanding.
Yeah, no, I think, to be fair, I felt like the ball came out of the hand pretty well all week, to be honest. I mean, as you know, in that cricket, it's carnage. If you get hit for 2 sixes, pretty much good over. So, yeah, when you go for 11 runs off 12 balls, you can't have too many complaints for that, to be honest.
Yeah. And what was different for you on that Saturday versus Wimbledon versus the night before? Because you did bowl the night before against them.
No, I didn't bowl on the Friday.
No, I bowled.
That was George's fitness you got there.
I'm looking at the scorecard. I'm just seeing the word Hankins. I'm like, so you were crap on the Friday night at 1 for 37.
No wonder he chucked his kit.
Yeah.
The only good thing about it is it kept me warm. That's it.
Was it cold?
Freezing.
It was cold. That's why they didn't want to bowl, I think.
It was freezing. I forgot. I left all my thermals and jumpers and stuff in the hotel as well. I packed awfully the morning, so I literally had my playing shirt, and that was it.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I had a stinker.
The one thing that stood out for me, though, guys, compared to last year, which is a massive difference, and you got a bit of stick for it last year in particular, you all held catches on the lights this year.
We did, yeah. Our fielding was so good the whole competition, barring I think Addy might have dropped one, and then Whitlock did his Whitlock thing, and
no comments. Video already got out to say what you all think of.
He knows what he's doing. He's just playing up to the commentators. So yeah, we were really good in the field. I think in that cricket we realised, well, from how we performed this year in the field, how important it is. It's so much more important. Well, I think the bowling and the fielding is more important than batting in the day. So yeah, we were very good in both aspects there.
Well, one of our good European cricket friends, Dave, I'll get his name right now, Bodnarazek, who's in the chat constantly. He's been keeping stats right throughout the ECL, and Group B has been the highest percentage of catches caught so far versus drops. You guys have outdone everybody. So, clearly it was, you just looked on fire in the field and I think it all started with Jalpesh on day one with that run out that he had, and it just could see that everyone was buzzing for it.
Yeah, I think for me, we got our fielders in the right positions. I think that's quite a key point. We spoke about at the beginning of the week as to who our boundary riders would be and where we want the key men. And I think you can see it. It does matter, I suppose, because one bloke, you could drop someone who's on, say, 10 off not many, and then they can just go and absolutely hit it anywhere. It's not exactly the biggest ground in the world, so those catches do become more important for me anyway.
And it'll be a bit warmer when you get out there next week as well, so everything should move a bit quicker around the field, and you guys should be moving a bit easier and enjoying a bit more of what we'd call sort of normal cricket weather, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's meant to be 27 on Monday, so it's warmer than what I thought it'd be. So yeah. I think there'd be a few tans getting caught by the pool.
I'm just thinking of that Sunday afternoon now after that early morning flight.
I don't want to think about that Sunday afternoon. I'm worried about a few of the guys, to be honest.
Well,
I'm not going to name any names. Don't worry.
Yeah, but there is history.
There's history. There is
history. I think one of the things Hornchurch bring to the ECL full stop is that relaxed nature that you've got around the club, and that I think is really significant for the whole team, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, I've been there 2 years now, and it's like one of the best clubs that I've played for. Well, so the second club I played for, but the relaxed nature of how they go about it. As soon as they get on the field, we're 100% committed to playing, and then we enjoy ourselves after, which is how club cricket should be.
What did you take from last year that corrected this year? Because obviously lost in the final last year. That's correct, isn't it? What were the differences that you're able to bring?
Just 1 second, Hugh. We just got a little guest for you guys.
Oh, Corey. Corey.
Great to be here as a special guest. I'm really honoured to slip in during the innings break.
And they didn't have a clue, Corey.
It's good to see your face, Corey.
It's good to see you guys. Look, you've got me for 2 minutes, so let's make this as quickly as possible.
Corey Rutgers. How lucky are Hornchurch?
Honestly, when you think about how you have to get here through the English domestic season, it takes a lot of wins. And they came here last year and they tried their best and they got knocked out. To be offered a place back just because they brought supporters, it pains me. And then to carry on after a group stage win like they did, it just reminded me of Gareth Southgate's England, who I love mediocrity. So they're beyond lucky, but I hate to say this, with big, is it Irfan coming or someone else? I'm a bit scared they could go the whole way.
So we'll look forward to your predictions on Sunday night then, Corey.
Yeah, I hate to say this. I think Hornchurch might have clicked with the bowling unit. And if they're bringing back 50, 60 supporters, I think they've cracked the code of this game a little bit. So they'll go close, but it depends if Hankins rocks up in the final with the blade.
Which one?
Well, I think I'm going to go with George on this one. But no, it's been a pleasant time having them back, to be honest. I can't play this villain card forever. Vinny's telling me off the camera to keep it up, but it's not easy because I'm not that bad a bloke, I like to think.
Absolutely. And the fact that you've come on for 2 minutes in between innings today, Corey, that says it all, mate.
Well, the one thing I can notice from this group, if this Austrian team gets through, they've just rocked up and hit. Honestly, they are bombing sixes, and I'd heard they're pretty good. They've got a bit of Drew flavour. Hakai Care look good. I mean, even Forfishare, I think George was telling me before, he's not sure if Leeski's going to be able to come up. But if they pick up a few more, Should be a super good finals week.
Absolutely.
It might be even better standard. Bit of better standard than last year, so looking forward to it for sure.
Definitely. Hey, thanks for jumping on, Corey. We'll let you jump back to that second innings, mate.
Cheers, see you guys. Corey. Enjoy. Cheers, fellas.
Mate. Cheers, mate. Cheers now.
Bye.
Oh, such a clutch off-season pickup, Dave.
I was worried we'd bring back the same team.
I meant those blackout motorized shades.
Blinds.com made it crazy affordable to replace our old blinds.
Hard to install?
No, it's easy. I installed these and then got some for my mom. She talked to a design consultant for free and scheduled a professional measure and install.
Hall of Fame son.
They're the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings in the world.
Blinds.com is the GOAT.
Shop Blinds.com's primetime kickoff event. Save up to 50% off select styles, plus doorbusters. Rules and restrictions may apply.
Hope you didn't mind, boys.
No, I
basically
like
spent the whole week just sledging you.
That's all, I don't mind. I like Corey. I think he's doing his job at the end of the day. What he says is the right things. He's saying in a way to cause a bit of controversy, which is what you want, right?
Absolutely. And well, we know. I mean, I've spoken to the senior guys at your club, and we know there's an element of luck to the fact that you were able to get a ticket back there, and Corey's played on that. But actually, you guys elevated ECL in England last year quite considerably, and I think it does everyone good to have a couple of really good English sides there, as well as building the whole process, doesn't it?
Yeah,
100%. I think for me anyway, before last year, didn't really know much about it. Didn't really know it existed, to be honest. And I think since we've come back, everyone's been asking, how is it? What's it like? And you just say, look, it's a crazy game. It's a good bit of fun. But at the end of the day, it's an unbelievable experience to go out to Spain for that week or 2 weeks, if you're lucky enough. And play some cricket under the sun, which not many of us get to do, I suppose.
And looking at the weather that's back here in the UK today, I mean, one of the guys in the chat, Kroom, who's from down your way in Essex, from Hornchurch, he just said to ask you boys, when's it going to stop raining? That's what it's like here at the moment. So to fly back out to Malaga and it being 25 plus degrees on Monday and play some cricket, you can't go wrong, can you?
No, I mean, like you said, the weather here is terrible. So being able to go there for a week in the sun, and just with Hornchurch, it's like we're mates. You're all with your mates, so it's like a family. So it'd be a good week, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we play well and go one better than last year.
Well, it's what I was impressed again, coming at it cold, a bit like you guys did the year before. The standard's really good. I was expecting it to be very patchy. And the first game, I think there was quite a few catches went down, but after that, catches held. You had a young 15-year-old lad thought, this lad's not going to do anything. He did brilliant. It's a really, really good standard. And these guys, they know how to play T10, don't they? They just stand there, they keep still, keep everything still, and then they just bomb it. And it's lethal. If you get it wrong, that ball's gone, especially with the fairly small boundary. It seems a small boundary from where we were looking. But it's a good standard. So this finals week is going to be well worth watching.
Yeah, all the teams in this finals week, we've seen a few of them, haven't we, Harry? They're all good teams. So we're going to have to be playing our best cricket to get into the finals day. I think, like you said...
Compared to last year yourself, George, and what you've seen over the last couple of years, have you seen that standard do this?
Yeah, the standard from last year to last week has been a massive difference.
Really?
I think last year, me and Harry were chatting about it earlier, watching that Italian Stallions play, and they were in our group last year, and I reckon I had 24 tosses from them. So I think the gap in standards is better this year. So it's going to be interesting to see. I imagine the Irish team are going to get through in the last group. So, they're probably favourites too, and they're a good side. So, it's going to be some good teams in the finals week.
I think it was pointed out by the commentators either last night or this morning. I was really interested that not just the teams who've won the groups have qualified, because it's that classic T10, isn't it? That it only takes one player to have a day out, and as Wimbledon found out, you can get beat. But then when you get to finals day, and it's effectively knockout cricket to a certain extent, the better teams will always rise to the top. You look at someone like Drew, who did not start very well in their group, but they finished the way Drew finished against you lot last year, didn't they?
I mean, if you look at Drew as well, for example, that Nabi hasn't scored a run yet.
No.
And they cruised it, I would say, in the end. Then, I mean, they're a good side. They got a lot of depth, but you look at him from last year, and he didn't get. I think he got over 10 in the group stage. If he fires again in the finals, it's going to be interesting.
Did they bowl one of their shit bowlers in all their shit bowlers in one of the games as well?
No, they didn't.
I don't think they did. I think we were the only.
I think they've got 5 bowlers, and then everyone else literally can't bowl. So.
Oh, really?
Haven't got a choice.
I think that's been the difference this year when you look at a lot of the sides. The depth is there more, isn't it, than it was last year?
Yeah, I think if you look at our bowling depth as well, we've got like Les and we've got Arthur, who I don't think they bowled. They might have bowled
like the odd over, didn't they?
But they could easily bowl 2 overs one in the power play and 2 overs. So we've actually got a lot of depth. And you think about Irfan, who's coming into that as well now. Yeah, I think bowling wise, we should have all bases covered, I'd like to say.
So we confirmed Irfan is on his way from Oz.
Irfan is not left the country just yet, but he is leaving shortly. Yeah,
because he missed out on the group stage because he had a final to play in, didn't he? And down in Oz, his club in Oz, I was told, reached the final for the first time in 350 years. And he had to stay there then, didn't he? So it'd be great to have him there. I mean, he's going to add something completely different to you guys, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. He's 6'7" or something ridiculous. So I think with the ball, with his bounce and his levers with the bat and his power, it's going to be a great addition for us going forward.
I think his height at long on as well could come in handy with those flat sixes.
Yeah. Let's just have a quick look then at next week. You've got a monumental schedule next week. You've got 6 games in 4 days in finals week because there's 7 teams in finals week. And you've got finals day itself on the Friday. Let's have a quick look at those teams who are through already. So we recorded this with a couple of groups to finish off, but Gina Brescia went through in Group A. They look pretty strong and stronger than they did last year again. Did you see much of them at all, guys?
Not heaps of them, to be honest. We kind of missed a few of their games, so I think I have to do some research on them. Well, me personally, anyway. But they'll be a good side, won't they? So,
definitely.
Yeah.
Then in Group C, straight after you, John T. Jenner led all Victorians through and looked bloody impressive.
Yeah, I know John T quite well, so
okay,
be interesting. I still think they'll find it a challenge against our bowling attack. So, but they look a good side. So hopefully get those two openers out early.
Yeah, definitely. From Group D, we've already mentioned them. Dre managed to scrape themselves through in the end. Didn't have a good group stage, but actually finals day relatively simple, as you said, Harry. Is it all about that one player for them, you reckon?
I would have before last week. I would have said Naby's your man, but as you've seen, they're 3 and 4 as well. Also took some bowlers to the cleaners. So
yeah,
if we can nullify Naby to start with, that'll be a start, and then obviously just chip away at the rest of them. But yeah, I think Naby's your one you got to just keep an eye on. I think
definitely. And then last night, Forth Ayrshire, who again didn't start the group stages very well,
squeaked through, I think is the term.
Yeah, they looked pretty good in the end. They reminded me a lot of you guys last year.
Yeah, I think their team is similar. I think last year we didn't have as much depth in our batting, and I think obviously Forthshire have. I know Leask plays for them, so normally they have him in there as well. So their batting would be a little bit deeper. But I felt when they lost like 3 early wickets or that one game, they struggled at the back end. So maybe I don't think Leask is going to come. I'm sure they'll try and get another batter in just to make that their batting line a bit deeper for them.
Definitely. Now Group F, which is underway at the moment, I've watched it this morning. Pakai Care Badalona, they look sharp. They looked efficient. Sebastian Bratt and DDC in the side as their extra players, I think, aren't they? They looked really, really sharp. But Independence look good.
Yeah. Were they in the group stage? Were they in your group stage last year?
Yeah, they played ours last year. Yeah. So yeah, I still think Pakai Care probably be favourites to go through, and they're a good side. I think, and any team that come from this group would be a good team. So
definitely. And as Corey's already pointed out, the guys from Austria, as was previewed by Vinny, they make Belgian ball look sedentary. And as Vinny tells everyone, Belgian ball makes Baz ball look boring. So he said the Austrians would come with it, and they certainly have this morning. Final group, Jason van der Meer, CIYMS boys. They're always strong, aren't they?
They're a good side. Yeah, they're a good side. And
how much of an advantage do you think they have if they win their group to being there and going straight through?
I don't know.
Well, early, didn't we? I think.
Yeah, it's tough, isn't it? Because if you come 1 and 2, you obviously play that one game in the morning, and if you win, you go straight to the final. Whereas last year we came 4th, and we had to play in every game to win. Which almost, is it a bad thing or is it a good thing? You get momentum playing. 10 overs isn't actually that long in the field, so you're not really that tired. I don't know. It's a tough one. Obviously, you want to be straight in the final because you're guaranteed it, but the gap from that eliminated to the final is ridiculously long. It's like 7. I think it was 7 hours, isn't it, Harry? Something like 6 hours in between.
You're just hanging around.
just a long waiting around. Some of us left the ground to get some food and chill, and the rest just stay at the ground. So it's a long time to wait in between. So you need to make sure you're ready to go. But yeah, there's arguments for both sides, I think, really.
Well, I know Dan Lincoln and Tom Lambert, the England boys who won the ECC last year, would definitely like CIYMS position because they won their group and stayed on and went straight through the following week, and just made it felt easier for them rather than having that gap and coming back. So we'll be interested to see what happens there. But at the same time, if CIYMS have a difficult group for whatever reason, they'd start on the back foot.
Yeah, I think like Cluj, is it Cluj that are in there?
They are, yeah.
That's Michael Vaughan's team, I think.
Yeah, we don't mention that. It's the wrong podcast, George.
Yeah, I know. I know. But yeah,
I've told Vinny that already.
Yeah, they're meant to be strong as well, so who knows?
They are a strong team, but are they to the level of the Irish? And,
they'd have to be a very good side to beat the Irish from last year, I would say.
Definitely. So we could end up with an Irish team, a Scottish team, an English team, a Jersey team, potentially Guernsey, but if not Guernsey, it'll be Spain and France and Italy. I mean, you couldn't ask for the better European Championship almost for us, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's like a little Six Nations.
It is, yeah. And there's no pressure on you boys, but remember that the England team won the ECC, the England women's team won the women's ECC, and so this is the third one in 5 months that you can't let us down on.
Well, yeah, I hope not.
Definitely. And myself and Hugh are actually with the NCCA boys next Thursday at one of their performance days, and we will have to try and keep in touch with what you guys are doing while we're actually doing that as well. So we don't want to be let down while we're with that lot because they'll be saying, come on, this T10's easy.
Yeah, we'll probably get a youngie or something if we don't quite come through.
So looking forward to the season ahead then, George, you're going to have your third year at Hornchurch. Harry, you've had a year at Barnes in Middlesex League, and I don't know if you can share with us where you're going to go yet, or is that all under hats for the time being?
It's not all confirmed yet, unfortunately. But we'll see. Hopefully next week in Spain can be the last cherry on the cake.
Watch this space potentially. George, third year at Hornchurch for yourself though. 1,000 runs, almost 1,300 runs the year after. Where are you going to go with it this year, mate?
I don't know, hopefully more. I still want to push to play county cricket or some sort of professional cricket, whether that's franchise or whatever. So I want to be pushing 1,500, 100 runs more. I don't know, but yeah.
And do you think that's what it'll take for someone in first class or NCCA to say, guys, come on?
I don't know. Honestly, I have no idea. I don't know what I thought. Like the games that I played the last 2 years, both second team club games, I thought I did enough to get some more games for county, but it hasn't been the case. So yeah, I'll give it another year trying and hopefully playing alongside my brother.
Absolutely. And if Hornchurch had a objective apart from winning the ECL next week, what would the objective be for 2024 season? There was a couple of things you ran disappointed on last year, wasn't there?
Yeah, I think for us, well, me personally, and I think I'd probably speak for the club when I'm saying this, the national 40 over. I've always, from playing at Bath in years gone by, that's always been like their main focus and like playing in that, and it's such a good competition. So I think for Hornchurch, I think we want to try and win that. Obviously the league, we want to win that again. Yeah, we want to win the league because it is what it is. And obviously that T20, I think they're the three ones that you want to win. So
yeah, you got a bit of a shocker in the T20 Nationals last year yourself, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Was it first ball against Wanstead by any chance?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
I am doing my job. Don't worry.
Someone's been doing their research, haven't they?
The first ball came off my back
absolutely
arm, and then down stumps. I don't think it hit the bells, to be fair, but.
Yeah, and to be fair, you guys got beat by Wanstead, and when we spoke to Alistair Fraser before the ECL, he did say the game they played against Wanstead was the toughest game they played last season. Yeah. So they were a good side. Yourself, Harry, you had a fair to middling season, would you say, with Barnes last year?
Yeah, we struggled a bit last year. I think the biggest thing was kind of availability. We were never really putting the same team out twice in a row throughout the year. So it's always you're always struggling if you're not got that momentum and you're not playing. But I think like we're a good side. We've got some great young players. So I think this year they should be looking to kind of get that promotion and get up to the top of that table. I think we've got a couple of signings this year. So hopefully they can.
Do you notice that you said they then?
I did pick up on they and that a couple of times there. I'm gonna have George Clark embargo in this podcast, aren't I? He's going to be saying
Forfarshire is going to nick him for the Scottish League, isn't it? That's what's going to happen.
You won't move to Scotland.
Bit of money flowing around up north.
Yeah.
Or Maguire could be going to say, come to Northern Ireland. There's plenty of options out there, isn't there? Definitely. What about the long-term future for you boys? I mean, you've both moved away from Bath and playing at Bath and under, correct me if I'm wrong, the tutelage of Mr. Maggs and the gang down there. In the future, do you see yourself going back down there and playing down at your old club?
For me, 100%. Yeah. I mean, like obviously the run that we had there when we won the national a few years ago, the side that we had, I think, wow, we won the national. I think if you look at our time on paper, I think we had probably one of the best sides in the country club-wise with Brad as the overseas. So yeah, I would love to go back there one day, 100%.
George?
I would love to. Yeah, I would. I just, in the near future, I don't think it'd probably happen, but somewhere down the line, I'd like to play there again. It's a beautiful ground. It's home. So yeah, one day, maybe.
It's not just a beautiful ground. It's also one of the best setups we've seen throughout the Premier Leagues in the entire country. And you couldn't ask for a better place to play, could you?
No, it's like a county setup. Well, the facilities they've got are better than some county indoor facilities that I've seen. So yeah, and Maggsy runs it well down there, and the players they've had in the last 10 years have been ridiculous. So yeah, I always wish them well, and I train down there a bit. So yeah, maybe hopefully I'll be back there.
Until you come across a bit of T20 national final and you'll want to whip them.
Yeah. So I'm trying to get a pre-season game against them sorted.
That'd be nice.
That's what I'm trying to do. But I'm not going to lob people under the bus, but a couple of the Hornchurch people aren't sending me the fixtures soon enough to get it booked in.
Well, is that the Hornchurch fixtures or the fact that they haven't got an Essex League fixture yet to start with?
Mark Whitlock and Lee Gilbert.
I've just texted one of your lot, but it wasn't Mark. So I have asked in the ECN chat if there was any questions for you boys today, and one that came from Richard Bird from Hornchurch. He asked a really interesting question, I thought, and it's a really appropriate question for both of you. And Birdie's asked, if both you were to get a job and it had nothing to do with cricket,
what would it be?
What would it be? Harry Hankins.
Do they have to get a job together? Do they have to be working together on something?
Harry's got a job, so he's all right.
Well, that's why I'm leading with Harry.
That's a great question. What would I want to be if I couldn't do any cricket?
What would I want to be, or what would you think I would be doing?
What would I want?
They're two separate questions altogether.
Yeah. What do I think I would be doing?
Yeah.
Oh, I work in recruitment, so.
Yeah, but what do you want to do?
What I want to do? That's a great. I actually don't really know what I want to do. Is my answer.
Pass the baton.
You want to pass it to me, do you? I don't know. I want to work in golf, I think.
Oh, nice.
Or like on the, maybe like the Live Tour, doing like social media or something like that. That'd be good.
Okay. You don't want to get all your coaching badges and do something in cricket then?
No, you said outside of cricket, didn't you?
I think there's more money in the Live Tour than there is in county cricket.
That's what Birdie said outside of cricket, so I avoided cricket.
True. Fair comment, definitely. But if you could do something in cricket, you would go. You'd coach anyway, wouldn't you?
I would do a little bit of coaching. I'm not sure it'd be a long term thing for me, but I'd probably in the immediate future I'd get into it. Yeah, but I'm not sure it'd be a long term career for me.
That was the best question. I'm just looking down the chat now, and that was the best question that came out of it. There has been, very interestingly, more Hornchurch people dropping into the chat than any other club around the whole of Europe.
Yeah.
Which, considering we don't play T10 in England, that says a hell of a lot, doesn't it?
It also says everyone in Hornchurch is unemployed as well.
or as my friend Mr. Murray said the other day, he was waiting for parts.
Yes. Harry waits for parts for 7 hours a day.
It did seem that way, definitely. So,
yeah, he's already playing Call of Duty. That's what he's doing.
So the other question I want to ask you guys, and there'll be one or two people who've been watching ECM will have seen this, is I've seen it when I was down at training with you guys, but tell everyone what's the boot about.
Harry won't know. Well, he doesn't know what it's about, but I was there. It was actually, we played Hutton away. I don't know if it was the league or the semi-final of the League Cup, and all the lads, mainly Gavin Griffiths, I'm going to throw him under the bus here because he deserves to be.
Well, he did throw you under the bus when we recorded, so...
Yeah, he did, yeah. Some of it was false as well. So, no, the lads through the year basically finding stuff in changing rooms that they could put in each other's bags. So when they leave the ground and get home, they can find it in their bags. I got Gavin with a couple of crab sticks from Harold Wood that he found his girlfriend found 3 days later because it smelled ridiculously bad. And I got a brown boot in my bag.
And the brown boot has now travelled with Hornchurch everywhere.
It's come the whole way. Some poor blokes finished the game and got one shoe.
And to this day, you don't know whose it is?
No idea. No idea, but it's come with us to every single game. So I'm not sure who actually has it now, but someone's got it. It's in someone's bag from Spain.
Well, if you win the 40 over comp, you need to put it on a plinth behind the bar, don't you?
Yeah, well, we get it framed. Can we get it framed? I think we should get it framed.
It's a trophy, yeah.
I think the challenge is if you win the ECL, we want to see the whole team doing shoeys.
Yeah. I know. I did one last week, but no one else did one.
was that before or after a game, though, George?
It was after the final.
Absolutely. But yeah, the guys from ECN did put it on there. You know, they showed the boot a couple of times. I've seen it on the TV a couple of times. Yeah. It does the job. Just for those who are listening to this and wondering what the hell are we all waffling on about, just tell them how big you think this T10 and this European cricket stuff could be, George. You've been around it a couple of years now.
Yeah, I think it could be massive. I think, obviously, they're having this competition in Spain. They've got loads of competitions. And I think if they can get it over to England somehow, I think it could be massive. Obviously, they got the T10 in Dubai or Abu Dhabi, but I think there could be loads more competitions in various countries if someone gets hold of it and does it right. I think the ECN do it right. I think the setup there is really good. I know it is club level that they're now, but I think if they can get it over to England somehow, I don't know how they would do it. Speak to the ECB, but yeah, even if it's a club competition in England, like a T10, another tournament T10. So yeah, I think it'd be massive.
Yourself, Harry, you've played a bit of it now.
Yeah, no, I think that, like George said there, the setup that they've got down at the Carlton Oval is pretty good. Like with the commentators and the way they do everything, I think it's exciting cricket to watch and it's exciting cricket to play. So I don't see why it shouldn't come to England and why we can't grow it here and continue to hopefully get through the finals weeks. And
I think it will bring like younger people playing because I think from what I've seen in the last 8 years, the drop-off in participation at a younger age is a lot more than what it was, 10, 15 years ago. So
when you were growing up, George?
When I was growing up. Yeah, when I was growing up. Yeah, I think the way that England are playing Test match cricket right now, I think it's getting more people to play. And I think if they can bring a T10 competition over, it will encourage kids to play just nowhere near as long as whole day's cricket.
But you also see the style of T10, the Phil Salts of this world, is basically played a T10 innings every time he goes out to play T20 or even 40, 50 over. It's almost like the short format. If you can do well in the shortest format, actually, it benefits your game right up to Test cricket now. So it's not a hit and giggle format that, like T20 was described back in the day. It's a serious format that needs to be dealt with properly.
Yeah, I think everyone's finding a method of how to play, and then it's just a confidence thing of doing it in any level of cricket, any format of cricket they're playing in.
Definitely.
Yeah,
I think
it's exciting.
Banter apart, Hornchurch approved that because when you went out there in February last year, day one, you didn't have a clue how to play it. Now you guys have got it. You've got the tactics. You've got the strategy around it. You've done what all good clubs and all good teams and all good players do. You've started to work it out. And you could see that difference last week, couldn't you?
Yeah, definitely. Well, I didn't play the group stage last year. I played the finals week. But yeah,
we got smashed.
When I rocked up that first morning and the first game I've ever watched Hornchurch play, never met anyone before. And I walked up and I seen them and I thought, this can't be right. And then obviously it came out that there was a few drinks that had been out before and blah, 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 blah. The whole story came out and I was like, right, okay. But yeah, like last week or a couple of weeks ago, whenever it was, I think... Yeah, we've got to grips with the Astro, I think. A lot of these, that's the thing, a lot of these other clubs...
Yes.
I think it's because everyone was sober as well, that's why.
Well, that's helped Astro, and yeah, I think...
Talking of sober, I've got a question just been texted in. George, What's the next song you're doing with your karaoke partner?
Is that Joe DeFreitas who said that?
No, it's Mr. Murray.
Mr. Murray. Well, I think tell him. Wait to listen to this. I want to sing I want to sing "Blue Is the Colour," the Chelsea song.
Oh, dearie me! We could end this right now, Hugh, couldn't we? I had a big enough problem with Gavin Griffiths and who he supports.
Well, I think I just noticed that's a Liverpool.
Exactly.
No.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, Gavs is slightly worse.
Gavs is Everton, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, big time. We have to ask George, and it has been prompted, not surprisingly, is how's your mate?
Who's my mate?
Hugo.
Oh, Hugo. Yeah, Hugo's doing all right. He's still in Australia. No, he's in Bali now, so he's back.
Oh, he's on his way back via Bali, is he?
He's on his way back next week. He's got a dubious tattoo of his girlfriend's name on his arm now. So that's all I can tell you about Hugo right now.
You'll have to get him down to Hornchurch and play with you guys.
If we do another charity day that we did last year, the T10, I'll get him to come play in my team. I'm sure.
Hugo on one side, Vinny on the other. And we'll have to get Rutgers over to coach one of them. Although I'm sure Corey could still play a little bit, to say the least.
I'm sure he'll tell you that he can still play, I'm sure.
Yeah, and that's the clip. He'll tell you that's all you need, isn't it, Hugh? That's all you need, that little clip straight away. Brilliant. Thanks for joining us, guys. It's been great to have a chat and sort of get a bit more of an insight into what happened to the ECL group stage. Looking forward to next week and the finals week in Carter. It's going to be fabulous to watch. It's going to be full on from Monday morning, to say the least, until 6:30 Friday night. Hopefully you guys are in that final. Final stays on the Friday. And we saw last week and we saw last year, you guys are a force to be reckoned with when you get into finals day in the first place. So all the best for that, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Cheers now. Thanks for listening to the Premier League Cricket Show. If you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future episodes and stay updated on all the latest news, views and discussions from around the cricket's Premier Leagues. And be sure to follow us on X, formerly known as Twitter, and Instagram at TPL Cricket Show on both. Join the conversation, share your thoughts and connect with us and your fellow Premier League cricket fans. And hey, if you enjoyed the show, why not show us some love? Leave us a 5-star review on your favourite podcast platform, as it helps other potential listeners to find us when they're searching for cricketing podcasts. Thanks again for being part of the Premier League Cricket Show family, and until next time, have a good one.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.